Now we're going to start with another project which is using buttons with our Bekonix app. And the buttons we can use to control, this is actually a switch to control turning on and off the array. In this case it's a strip. I've got a button wired in right here. And you can see the way I have it wired is a ground wire, which is black, going to one side of the button, a signal wire from A0, it's difficult to see the A0, but it's on the itsy bitsy right here, coming around and going into the opposite side from the ground, and then a power wire coming from 3 volts. Now, 2 pins down from 3 volts, we've got V high, which is 5 volt, which is going to feed this LED strip. Now you can see that if I press this button, it's going to stop the play, and then when I release it, we go back to the beginning of this programmed sequence, which is going to be these colors and these patterns in a row. I'm going to do that again. I press on the button and hold it, and it stops the play pattern, and then I release it and it starts up again. But what it's starting to do is go back to the beginning. That's the way this is working now. How do you find this in Bekonix? Took me a week to figure this out. If I click on the button icon right here, and this button, by the way, is intended to have 2 pins, not 4. And that's one reason I don't have the 2-pin button. It says here in components on the button, if you look it up right here on device setup, it says it has only 2 pins, ground and A0. Ours has 4. That's the reason. When I saw that, here is what it looks like in Arduino. Here's the way you're supposed to hook up the button, a 4-pin button in Arduino. You've got your voltage coming in on one leg, and then you've got your signal, and then you've got your little resistor going to ground. Now in my case, I skipped the resistor. I didn't do that. Seems to work. Next picture. This is where you can buy the buttons. They cost $6.50 for 120. That's a nickel a piece. That's the kind of button I'm using, not the kind that Bekonix shows. Now, going back to the Bekonix app, in timeline, how do we get to know where we are? If I click on the button right down here, this changes, and now we've got various commands, properties for the button, and one of them is to play, toggle play. I can change that to stop. I've also got different tracks, and we're talking about track number 2. Now let's go look over on down here. This is track number 2. So when I click that, it plays that track. That's the way it's written as far as I can figure out after working on this for quite a long time. If I press this button, it will stop the play pattern. There it is. And when I let go, it will go back and start over on this line, starting from here. Therefore, we can use this button to turn on and turn off our program. We don't need to use the Bekonix app to play it right here. I've got this playing right here, but I don't need that now that I've got it wired to the button. There'll be more on this.